Man United have just been beat by Galatasaray at home at Old Trafford 3-2. Man United took the lead twice and then were immediately pegged back by Galatasaray both times, and Onana made another terrible error which forced Casemiro to try and intervene and ultimately led to a red card for him. Although Icardi missed the penalty, he then made amends by chipping it over Onana a few minutes later, and that's how Man United lost. Man United have lost their second game in the Champions League group stages this season and are basically on the verge of being eliminated because they've already lost to Bayern Munich, and on this form, I don't see how they can beat Bayern Munich at home. And since they've lost to Galatasaray, that means it will be a very tricky away fixture in Turkey. And with Champions League, head-to-head is considered rather than goal difference. So that's why I believe Man United are also on the verge of being eliminated in the Champions League. Man United are also sitting 10th in the Premier League. Out of 7 games, they've lost 4 already this season. This is Man United's worst start since the 1900s. Yes, Man United are in a crisis. I think ultimately there are 4 fundamental things that are completely wrong at Man United. Let's get into it. The first thing is the players. I'm talking about the quality of players, the talent, the work rate, the passion for the badge, professionalism, etc. Let me give you an example. Players then: Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, Cantona, Best. You can even include the coach, Sir Alex. You know where I'm going with this, right? Now, Ronaldo, Rashford, Beckham, Bruno, Roy Keane, Scott McTominay, Rio Ferdinand and Vidic, Harry Maguire, Sir Alex, Erik ten Hag, Gary Neville, Diego Dallo. We can go on and on and on with this list. Peter Schmeichel, David De Gea, or Andre Onana. We can do these comparisons time and time again, and I'm pretty sure all of these players will come up short. So, why do I think that's a problem? I think the players lack the passion for playing for the badge and the name that is Man United. It's not losing that's the problem. It's how Man United are losing that's the problem. It makes it much more worse. So much so that people question your integrity as a footballer, how much effort you're putting in for the money that you're getting paid. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands per week. Certain things are expected of you, and there are certain things that shouldn't be expected of you, but we assume is what comes with the privilege and the honor of being a footballer. Even if you don't have the talent anymore, hard work is definitely passion driven, and you'd also expect from the players that are earning hundreds of thousands of euros per week some sort of giving 100% on the pitch for every minute that they are on it. Number 2, they have too many off-field issues. We don't know whether or not the club is being sold. What's going on with the Glazers? There's been many fan protests. Players are involved with controversy relating to off-field issues, including sexual assault and gender-based violence. We know Greenwood had to leave the club because of issues surrounding the club. We know Anthony is not available because of an investigation made against him, although it seems most likely probable that he will be cleared. I should also state that Greenwood was never officially charged as well, but there's been too much reputational damage and too much that's at stake in the modern world today for the club to continue to operate as business as usual. So that's definitely affected them. Sancho's civil war against Ten Hag, definitely a lack of respect from players and managers and vice versa. There's a pattern there because it happened with Cristiano Ronaldo, who ultimately was forced out after he did the interview exposing everything that was going on at Man United. Some people thought it was completely unprofessional, and I would agree. However, it seems that there was an element of truth to it. That's just an example of some of the off the field issues that are causing so much instability at the club right now. Number 3 of what I think is wrong at Man United. I genuinely do not believe that Man United are a big club anymore on the field. Teams do not fear Man United anymore. When teams are playing Man United, they are definitely thinking that there's a possibility that they might get something from the game, even the smaller teams. Man United is not a big club anymore for me on the pitch, and therefore I think that's also what contributes to the transfer business and why they cannot attract the biggest stars in world football anymore. I'll give an example. They are signing unknown and untested talents. Although talented, they are still very untested, don't have a great CV, and it could be seen as risky transfers. For example, 70 million on Rasmus Højlund, 21-year-old from Atalanta, didn't score loads of goals, but there's potential. 100 million on Anthony from Ajax, again, same thing. Didn't score lots of goals, didn't grab lots of assists, didn't have an amazing Champions League run, but there's some talent there. 80 million on Harry Maguire. Played for Leicester, CV wasn't the best, but there was talent there. Now let's compare the scouting and recruitment of the rival teams Man City and Liverpool. Ruben Dias, Virgil van Dijk, direct comparison to Harry Maguire. And they even came for less money. Mohamed Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Sadio Mane, Alisson, Ederson, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, Erling Haaland. These are players that did have the talent, but it was considered less risky. Less money was paid for these players, specifically relating to Alvarez, for example, and Sadio Mane. But it shows that the talent that was there, the coach had a plan for them and was able to extract it out and get the best out of the players. If you look at Alisson, makes great saves for Liverpool, saves Liverpool time and time and time again. If you look at Ederson, might not be the great showstopper or shot stopper, but definitely essential to the way Pep Guardiola likes to play. It works. The transfer business for these teams works to fit the style of play that the managers want. And this also led to successful results, which ultimately led to stability in the team and the managers being there for more than 5 years. Old Trafford was a fortress last season, yes, I will acknowledge that. Man United away from home got thrashed multiple times. 4 down at Brentford in 35 minutes. 7-0 away at Liverpool. 4 down at City by halftime. Ended up being 6-3. And many others. No away wins against the top teams from last season. Just shows that sometimes some statistics could be misleading. Like Man United's home form. And this leads me to my next point. Number 4. An unidentifiable and unspecialized style of play. What is the difference between Erik ten Hag now, Ole Gunnar before then, and Jose Mourinho before then? What style of play is sustainable for Man United? Yes, Jose Mourinho won Europa League, finished second. Ole Gunnar finished second too. Ten Hag last season finished third, went to 2 finals and won 1 trophy. But was this style of play ever sustainable or ever enough to win the biggest trophies like the UEFA Champions League and the Premier League? Again, comparing to the biggest rivals. We know Klopp's Liverpool will run you to death. We know Pep Guardiola's City will pass you to death. And what we definitely do know is that both teams and both sets of players will work extremely hard on and off the ball, and you will never ever question their integrity, their professionalism, and their effort. Can we really say the same about Man United and Man United players? Do we know what their style of play is? Have we known that for a few years? What is really going on there? And I know I said I will give you 4 points, but it's just occurred to me that actually I have a 5th point. And the 5th point is I believe there is a lack of vision for the future for this club. Ronaldo said things in that interview And he specifically mentioned that things at Man United hadn't changed for more than 10 years since he first left the club. And he went to Real Madrid in Spain and he went to Juventus in Italy. He then said, based on where he had been, he's seen no further investment in technology at Man United, no further investment in the stadium, in the facilities, in the academy, etc. Basically, Man United are not keeping up with the times and are not doing everything that they can do to be or to remain at the top or to reach the levels that they once were at. I think there's a lot of turbulence surrounding this club, and I think it will take years to sort it out. I do not see them winning the league or the Champions League anytime soon, and that is the real measure of success. Not the Carabao Cup, not second place, and not even Europa League. Although Europa League can be linked to progress for smaller teams, if Man United is a big club, it is only a big club because of the fan base that it has, and not because what's happening on the pitch. And also because of its history, which is slowly becoming forgotten. And to be honest, or at least it's becoming less relevant because teams are writing their own history now. Chelsea in the past decade have won 2 Champions League and a few Premier Leagues. Man City have won multiple Premier Leagues and have now won their first Champions League. Liverpool in this time at least won 1 trophy that's available to them of everything, including all the smaller trophies and the Champions League as well as the Premier League. In that space of time, Man United, since Sir Alex Ferguson left over a decade ago, are still yet to find a season that they can refer to as a success. In conclusion, Man United are and have been in a crisis for more than a decade, and I'm not sure how they will solve it.